My boyfriend texted, "Maybe we should break up." I replied, "Okay." 30 minutes later, he was begging outside my door, but it was already too late. The text came while I was sitting at work. "Maybe we should break up." It was only 6 words, but I'd seen the same threat so many times before that I already knew what came next. Instead of begging, I simply replied, "Okay, your things will be outside in an hour." His typing bubble appeared almost instantly. Then one text made everything click. "I was testing you." I didn't answer. I left work, drove straight home, and packed everything he'd slowly moved into my apartment over the past 2 years. 30 minutes later, he was pounding so hard the neighbors stepped into the hallway. "Clara, open the door! Your things are outside." I said maybe, and I agreed. He stared at the boxes like he couldn't believe I'd actually done it. His face turned red. He kicked one of the boxes, shattering something inside, then pulled out his phone and called his older sister on speaker, expecting her to convince me. Instead, she asked, "What exactly did you text her?" He hesitated. "I told her maybe we should break up." "And why?" It was a test. The hallway fell silent. Even the neighbors who'd been pretending to unlock their doors stopped moving. His sister sighed. "Evan, you cannot keep treating people like this." His own sister finally saw the pattern. Instead of backing off, he became even more desperate. The next morning, my phone wouldn't stop vibrating. By the time I opened social media, he'd already posted about his heartless girlfriend, and complete strangers were calling me cruel before they'd heard a single word from me. I didn't respond. When my best friend asked what had really happened, I forwarded exactly 2 screenshots. She replied 1 minute later, "Keep those messages. You'll need them." She was right. That afternoon, a police officer knocked on my door after Evan reported that I'd stolen his belongings. I showed him the photos, the security camera timestamps, and our text messages. He read them quietly, handed my phone back, and said, "I don't believe there's anything further we need to investigate." His first attempt to scare me had failed. 2 days later, Evan cornered me in a crowded restaurant. "You always forgive me," he said. I looked him straight in the eye. "That's exactly why you kept doing it." Every conversation around us stopped. His confidence disappeared the moment he realized this wasn't another argument he could win. But it wasn't over. Then my friend answered a knock at her apartment door. A woman I'd never met stepped inside, placed a stack of old screenshots on the table, and quietly said, "I dated Evan before you." She pointed to 2 old messages. "Maybe we should break up. If you loved me, you'd fight for me." They were almost identical to mine. Without another word, she opened the envelope and slid a contract across the table. Without another word, she opened the envelope and slid a contract across the table. My name was printed on the first page. I had never seen that contract before.